My money, my life mentality is ruining your financial future. While it's important to enjoy life as you move up the financial ladder, getting carried away could ruin your chance at amassing true wealth. In this video, we'll talk about lifestyle creep, how it ruins your wealth, and what you should do instead. What is lifestyle creep? Consider this scenario. You've just received a pretty good pay raise, and right on cue, you decide your Kia no longer fits your new income, so you get a Tesla. Plus, with the extra money coming in, you begin to try out all the coolest restaurants and bars you've been seeing popping up around the city. Of course, if you're going to go out every weekend, a new wardrobe is now appropriate. This is a prime example of lifestyle creep. The more you earn, the more you spend. Some call it lifestyle inflation. It is one of the most significant barriers to wealth accumulation for many people because it reduces your checking account, destroys your savings goals, and takes away from your emergency fund. When you fail to create a healthy balance between your income and your spending, you'll find yourself in a paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, completely reliant on earning more money to maintain your standard of living. This is because it'll never be enough no matter how much you earn, since you're constantly leveling up as your wage or salary increases. As a result, all of a sudden, your spending habits become normal. This then sends your financial plan down the drain and makes your wealth-building goal a mere illusion. This is how it happens. You tell yourself you've worked hard and that you deserve the dream vacation you've been wanting to go on for ages. So when you finally get the raise you've been expecting to finance this trip, you don't think twice to book it. That part is not a problem, but here's where lifestyle creep slithers in. When you first planned this dream vacation, you pictured yourself being on a beach, reading a good book. But now that you've earned a pay raise, you've decided to upgrade your hotel room, book an expensive massage, go on guided tours, and take part in multiple dining experiences. Lifestyle creeps are usually brought on by that little voice in the back of the mind that justifies those comparatively tiny increases in spending. These expenses grow so fast that you soon won't be able to live without those weekly massages, golf outings, or dinner reservations. Of course, if you can afford it, none of these things are bad. However, allowing these factors to ruin your chances of accumulating significant wealth by draining your income without saving and investing is not an acceptable trade. As a result, it's important to distinguish between what you should have and what is realistic for your life. If you prioritize spending over saving, you'll end up hurting yourself in the long run, because by then, you would have created a lifestyle that can be impossible or difficult to maintain, especially if you lose your job or your main source of income, or have a significant decrease or pay cut. Also, if you choose to spend over saving, you'd most likely be spending the monies you could have saved for emergencies or retirement. And for younger adults, you'll lose out on returns you would have gained by investing extra money from your younger ages. So here are some common lifestyle creeps to look out for and how to avoid them. Clothing and shoes. Retail therapy is called that way because it's effective. But in reality, it's only a dopamine rush followed by a credit card bill that comes due the next month. One excellent tip for dealing with such unwelcome stress is when you want to buy something that exceeds a certain monetary threshold, make a note of it. Write down what it is, the cost, the place you saw it, and why you want it, and put the corresponding amount in a savings account. Wait for at least 30 days, assuming it's not an emergency. If you still need it, then go for it. Otherwise, you've just saved some money. Self-care items. The entire self-care industry depends on us believing that we require all of the various oils and supplements they sell in order to live a healthier life. You really don't. In fact, you can do without many of the products and services advertised as self-care. So once again, it's important you separate what you need from what you like. To decreep yourself from this, you have to pick out the self-care items you really need. Think of it. Did you really need that $90 moisturizer your favorite influencer sells, or is the $15 version just as good? Cars and transportation. This is a prevalent lifestyle creep that shows up in a big way. Getting the shiny new Tesla or BMW that fits the big promotion and title change is a common habit. Occasionally, particularly when paired with added shopping or eating out, the spending is substituted with taxis and ride shares. To handle this lifestyle creep, think about not just the monthly payment, but also the insurance, gas, and maintenance that would also be a part of a big purchase like this. You might want to look at your current car's condition. Is it totally fine? Do you really need a bigger or newer car? You have to be vigilant and honest with yourself about your why. In the end, if your budget can handle it without any negative consequences, like not being able to save, and if it makes you happy, then take your shot. Otherwise, stick with Old Faithful. Housing. Just like the car, your home is a big display of your standard of living. Plus, there's an undeniable societal pressure to own a home because it makes you seem like more of an adult. Despite the pressure, you shouldn't consider moving if you don't have to. And when it's time to move, be reasonable when considering your new home. Try not to confuse the dream house with the reality of living in a place you can't afford. A place you can live in that will allow you to save and invest. Experts advise you to keep your housing costs below 25% of your net income. While this may be near impossible in some metro regions, it can be a priority that keeps you away from other lifestyle creeps when your next big raise comes. One thing you can do is consider living with a roommate. Even in the short term, this could be a big opportunity to reduce your overall housing expenses and save more money. Extravagant Vacations. $15 for 2 tiny airport tacos, a $25 glass of airport wine, and more legroom upgrades for $2.99. Not to mention the ridiculous amount paid for vacation treats, super expensive hotels, and tours, because hey, you've only got one life. This is the #1 enemy of long-term financial success. By the way, you don't have to fight the urge to have a fun vacation. You just have to budget ahead and stick to the plan. This way, you can have a perfectly lovely vacation without having to break the bank. You can incorporate your travel, accommodation, shopping, dinner, and even your purchases within your budget. You just have to create the budget before you activate vacation mode and discipline yourself to stick with it. Credit card debt. Lastly on this list is credit card debt. Increasing credit card debt is the most obvious sign that you're spending beyond your means, which could be a result of overspending or outright impulse purchasing. You're especially prone to this type of spending when you're in need of a pick-me-up with a ready credit card just a step away, or when you're socializing with people who make more money than you. If you've been engaging a lot of impulse spending, it might be a sign of deeper issues, so you need to pay attention. To fix this, track your moods in relation to your spending. If you find yourself frequently flashing a credit card as a quick fix to make you feel better, or if you find yourself overspending around certain people, say family and friends that enjoy tempting you to buy extravagant things, you might want to reconsider how and when you hang out with them for the sake of your financial future. Along with budgeting and the 30-day rule, another thing you can do to prevent lifestyle creep is to pre-assign any extra money you receive. Make your money work for you before you even get it. This is known as giving every dollar a job. This is particularly true when you're dealing with an unexpected cash infusion, such as a bonus or a tax refund. Have a pre-designated place for any extra money you earn. When it comes to spending, you should live a little, but not too much to ruin your chances of building wealth. This way, you can avoid the middle-class traps we just shared. That's it for today's video. Hope you learned something new. If you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss out on new content. See you in the next one.